12 to 15 hours. That is how many hours you will spend home educating. And that is not an if you want to or a maybe. That is how long you are going to spend home educating every single day. Now, before you click off of this, I will explain myself, and I will also let you know how many hours of focused academic work we do and how many I would recommend new home educators to do. So let's get into it. I will justify myself. So 12 to 15 hours is how much you will home educate, because that is how long your child is most likely going to be awake during the day. Home education is now your life. Your entire life is now a home educating life. You can't separate home education and life. Like, it does not work like that. Home education and life are entwined now. You are home educating as a way of life. And similarly, parenting cannot be separated from home education. Parenting and home education are intertwined. You are going to spend all day parenting and home educating your child. And that is just a fact. It's what's going to happen if you are a full-time home educator of your child. So it sounds like a long time. You're like, oh no, for 12 to 15 hours, I need to be doing learning activities? Well, no, of course not. That is not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about the everyday life of a home educating parent. It involves learning, not every single second of the day, but kind of every single second of the day, because young children are learning constantly. And as a result, you will be teaching and learning alongside them constantly as well. So one minute you will be cleaning your bathroom, the next minute you'll be outside examining a bug and looking up a video on what kind of bug it is. Your life will become a mesh of just living normal life, intertwined with learning along the way, and it's just all completely enmeshed within each other. Like, you can't have like normal life, home educating life, parenting life. Like, it's not all separate, it's just all combined. So you are going to spend a long time, all of your child's waking hours, home educating them. It sounds tiring, but actually it is the most fulfilling, joyful thing that you'll probably ever do if you decide to home educate. And if you are home educating, then it's going to be the most fulfilling, joyful thing that you'll ever do. It will be hard at times. It's not going to be an easy thing to do, but it is a wonderfully fulfilling thing to do. And it's just wonderful. Today I was sitting with my sons and I was just doing a task which was untangling all of my jewellery. So I have this jewellery in multiple little jewellery boxes, and they've been there for years, just all getting tangled up and just losing various earrings and stuff. And so I was like, today's task is going to be to sit down and just untangle all of this and bin the stuff I don't need and just put it all nicely away. That was my task for the day. And my sons came and joined me. They were doing something else and they kind of came upstairs, and we just sat for like an hour just untangling necklaces and chatting together and just having a lovely time. And if I didn't home educate my sons, then we would not have as many of these moments. Of course, parents everywhere have moments like this, but there'll be a lot more moments of just going from one activity to another. There'll be a lot less opportunity for just everyday moments. And these everyday moments are my favourite memories with my children. Not the times when we go on holiday and do amazing different trips and stuff. Of course, those times are wonderful. But my favourite moments are just the casual conversations in the everyday mundaneness of life. Those are my absolute favourite moments. And I would not give that up for the world. And now to answer the question that you probably clicked on this video for, which is how much time do you spend doing focused academic work, whether that's with a workbook or a curriculum or some kind of sit down, more school-like activity. And for the age range that this video is aimed at, so parents of children between 4 and 6 years old, I would say between 30 minutes and 1 hour is great. You can do more than that, you can do less than that, you can do whatever you want. But my opinion and my recommendation is between 30 minutes and an hour. And that covers your core subjects. So you can choose your core subjects to be whatever. Most people will choose English and maths, maybe something else. Maybe your family's really into music or something, and you can make that a core subject. But between 30 minutes and an hour is enough sit down, focused kind of workbook style learning. Now, of course, your child that's not the only learning your child's going to do, because that seems a short period of time, and it is a short period of time. So it's very achievable for every family, I would say. It's achievable to do that much work of sit down focus time within a day, even with multiple children. But of course, there are loads of other kinds of learning, right? There is focused learning in the form of learning activities. There is focused learning like reading books, that I would consider that education, and listening to books on your Yoto cards, I would consider that education. Doing art projects, learning social skills, learning practical life skills like cooking. There's so many things that make up home education that it's absolutely impossible to say how much time you're going to spend learning, or how much time you're going to spend in terms of hours learning each day. I would say that most of your day will be spent learning if you are very intentional about it. And like I said in another video, if you plan, you do have to have a plan, because otherwise you're not going to get stuff done. But if you have a plan and a very gentle rhythm to your day, then you will get stuff done, and probably most of your day will be learning of one kind or another. The key is to draw your children into your life rather than the other way round. Rather than making this all about them and make everything revolve around them, have yourself a fulfilling life and draw them into it. Of course, there will be times when you're going to be doing things that you wouldn't normally do by yourself, for example, reading to your children and doing craft activities with them maybe, or doing the academic workbooks. Maybe you wouldn't do that otherwise, but a lot of your day will be focused around bringing your child into your life and into the things that you do naturally, and lots of learning will come out of that. For example, like I said, cooking and cleaning, very essential things. And just living life together as a family is educational. As you grow as a person, and as you become what am I trying to say here? As you become a better person and you are focusing on developing yourself, your children, you can bring your children into your life, and they will learn so much through that. So you can do your own hobbies, and you can bring your children into your hobbies. And of course, like I said, there will be lots of times when you will do things specifically for them, but you're doing it with them. You're doing it as a family. You're doing morning time, for example, as a family all together. You are doing project time together with them. It's not them going off and doing their thing and you doing your thing. It's kind of a whole family experience. So home education is a whole family experience, and that is the best way to look at it. And of course, if you look at it that way, then yes, 12 to 15 hours every day will be spent home educating your child, because that is how much they are awake during the day, right? So that's what I'm going to leave you with there. I will link here my video where I talk about the 5 biggest mistakes I made as a home educator. I made this video so that you would not make these mistakes, and so I'd encourage you to go and watch that so you can learn from my mistakes and not make the same mistakes that I made in my first year. So I'll leave you with that video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.